Wow, I got a wicked, I don't know if you saw this, but my finger went like this. I got a wicked cramp in the middle of that song. And because I'm a professional, I didn't wince. I turned it more into like a sexy grin, I think. A sexy grimace. Oh my God, I gotta start another band now, Sexy Grimace. I was telling the story the other day at a show because I was reminded of it, and it's such a funny thing, which is that, and it's a perfect segue into this next tune, but when my daughter Ruby was about, I'm gonna say I'm apparently time blind, so she could have been 12 or 2. But I think she was about 6. And I was getting her ready for school, I was tying her shoes, and it was Father's Day, and she looked up at me and she said, "Hey Dad, have you ever seen a prison? Or have you ever seen a jail?" And I said, "Yeah." And then I went back and just thought, well, maybe if I tie the bow very fancy, she'll get distracted. She said, "Have you ever seen the inside of a jail?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Why?" And she had known stories. My dad would tell her stories when she was little. She used to love my dad's stories called Little Bad Boy Papa, because he grew up quite poor with a bunch of older brothers. He had 12 brothers and sisters, and some of them were bank robbers, and some literally. And so they grew up very poor, and they have a very colorful tale. So she said, "So why did you go to jail?" And I said, "Well, I got arrested at the American Embassy. I was demonstrating in the early 80s. And so I explained to her what it was about, and she said, "Well, why would the police arrest you if you were doing something good?" And I said, "Well, because sometimes the police are here to serve and protect, and other times they're here to defend the property rights of the ruling class." And so she seemed to, and then she went off to school. She seemed to be quite happy with that answer. "Oh yeah, that makes sense." And weirdly, later that day, this sort of family, very good-natured family blog contacted me, and they said, "Hey Ron, do you want to write something for Father's Day?" And I said, "Do I?" So I wrote that whole thing, and it was titled "Talking to Your Kids About Incarceration." When all the roads you see from your door lead one way in, the other way, and all the waves that crash on your shore carry sailors' bones from shipwreck days. When all those vicious handcuffed words constrict, contract, constrain, well, I'll meet you on the barricade in the cool, defiant rain. When you and your brothers held on to your mothers, the story an unwritten page. They read you the rules, and they sent you to school, but you paid for the bars on your cage. So you played a poison violin in a symphony of rage. Now it's time you traded that fucker in for a place on the barricade. Judge in the hour of the barricade. Well, now your great eyes and your battle cries are the sweetest warning salute. But the only ring can dismantle this thing is the sound of a siren heard by the children of apostasy who will rescue this wretched world. Yeah, they'll join their hands like a barricade, like an insolent fist full of pearls. Stay your girl now or no. The week is the hangman, the month is the rope, and the year the barricade. Some vote with their heads and some vote with their hearts. Some vote with the end of their dicks. Or you can vote with a ballot, you can vote with your wallet, but it's usually a vote for the pricks. Yeah, so let me tell you this for free. My next vote's with a brick. I'm from somewhere behind the barricade, beyond the lies and the rhetoric. And if I see you on the barricade, I'll be sure to shake your hand. Yeah, well, I'll help you build your barricade on the grave of this sleepwalking land.